In this video, I'm going to show you how to create this fixture with these little petals on it. So stay tuned and I'll show you how to do it. Okay, so we're going to start off with a balloon, and this balloon is a balloon I used already. And I'm going to make it so that it can rest on the table so you can put this little candle underneath it. If you wanted to, you could use one of these shipping tape rolls. It's just the shipping tape rolls that you get. If you get shipping tape, you could use duct tape rolls. And I'm going to use a smaller tape roll, this cardboard, from something else that was a piece of tape. And I'll use it for that because I wanted to have a different look from the one we created already. But if you wanted to, you could put glass gems on it afterwards, and you have so many options. So I wanted to show you that before we begin. You're going to blow up a balloon, and you can use a straw. Let me show you how. You can use a straw to blow up the balloon, so you can keep reusing the straw over and over again and blow up balloons. And instead of deflating the balloon, if you can just, instead of popping it, you can just deflate it. So let me tell you about how to make your own homemade decoupage mixture. So you're going to take the glue. Now, some people have precise measurements. I don't use a precise measurement, but what I do is I use these containers once they're empty. So say, for example, you have this much glue, then you'll put this much water. You want the consistency of about milk. It shouldn't be too thick or too thin. In this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use regular white glue. It dries clear. The reason it's not a big deal in this case is because you're putting the petals over it. Normally, it would be a bigger deal because you want it to dry a certain way. So you're going to take a sheet of tissue paper, and maybe you want to make sure it covers the entire balloon. So maybe since you have it cut this way, you're going to cut off this amount. So you'll keep this for the balloon, and this will be your petals. And I already started it. I taped it. We taped it originally, and we just want to retape it to make it a little bit easier to understand. And so normally you'll put it one layer at a time, but because I used this already, you're going to put one layer with the glue, and then you'll put the other layer over it. So just to give you an idea, you're going to attach a layer, and then you'll put another layer. And I'll show you what I mean. You'll put the glue on the balloon, and then you'll put the glue on the tissue paper, and then you'll cover it so that it's thoroughly saturated with your glue mixture. Then you'll put another layer of the glue on so that both layers are saturated. It doesn't have to be perfect. Again, you have some room for error with this task because it's going to be covered with the leaves. So just imagine this is all saturated with glue. You'll let it dry. You'll flip it over, and you'll put the tissue paper, tuck it in so that it's tucked into your shipping tape roll. Okay? If it rips, don't worry. You don't have to even put it whole as this sheet. You can also just put it like this. So if you have gaps in the tissue paper, just add another tissue paper. Like I said, this first part is the part that's very forgiving because it's not going to be visible. So you'll tuck it in like that, and you'll tuck it all around. Sometimes the shipping tape roll has a little bit of stickiness to it. That helps you. Once you're finished and this is dried completely, it's going to go from being clear like this to being more of a white color. That's how you know it's kind of set. Once it's set, then you can either deflate your balloon or you can pop your balloon, and you'll have sort of a crinkled layer of tissue paper. Okay, so and if for some reason you feel like you don't have enough glue on it, you can always add more glue. The whole point is to get it so that it's hard. That's how you'll know you're ready. So once you've done that, you slide this over, and then you do your leaves. So for example, how you construct your leaves is like this. I'm going to take this tissue paper, and I'm going to divide it up. And since I want small petals, you can determine the size of your petal. You'll fold it the way it normally comes, and then you'll fold it over again. And you keep folding it because you're going to need a lot of petals. And you're doing it by eye. So it's not really determined by the exact size, just by how many petals you want or need. So let me just get some scissors and we'll start cutting this up. Oh, there. Almost lost the scissors. So instead of me drawing it out, some people are more perfectionist, but I like sort of having crafts that look sort of like it reflects how the world is. You know, I mean, there's some symmetry in the world, but there's also a lot of asymmetry in the world. So I like things that kind of have that organic look. So I'm going to cut this in half, and I'll start by making bigger petals. So the big petals that I'll make, I'll divide this in half again, will be just like this. Okay, and then to make sure your ends are cut it like so. Cut it right across. So these will be your bigger petals, and they start the foundation of the craft. It depends on which way you want your petals to go. You can have it go down or you can have it go up. I prefer to have it go up, so I would put my petals this way. And you're going to layer it. So if you're going to start at the top, you start by putting your petals this way. And you put petals up, and then you put it around. So I'm just going to show you quickly how we're going to do it. And if you don't get it right, it's okay, because this project is all about layering. So you take your glue, and since I put a lot of glue on this one, I'm just going to go like this, and you put a petal. Then you go next to it. You can overlap, and then you put another petal. Then you add more petals. And again, so that I can make sure I don't put too much glue, I put some glue on the next one. And it could be spaced or it could be overlapping. It's up to you. So you do that all around your balloon. Once you're finished the first layer, you go to your next layer. And you put some more glue. Now, I determined when I was doing it that I wanted the shiny part out. Then I kind of decided I wanted to mix it up and make some of the shiny part, some of it not. What I did for the next layer is I put it in between the ones. Even if they're overlapped, I put it in between, so you just have a complete coverage of petals. And you can determine how you want it to look. So I'm just going to show you how to do it like this. Now, if you wanted to use a different surface besides tissue paper, you could do the same look with something that isn't tissue paper. I mean, I'm sure you could kind of do this on, just like we have this wall, this flower wall. I'm sure you could do this on a flower wall and just take a surface and make petals, and it would be equally as nice. So you just do like that. And you're doing it all around, but you see how you're going to have some wet area because of the glue. When you're all finished and you've covered the entire surface with these petals, you're going to take the parts that have that little bit of glue. You'll make sure you carefully overlap it so it's not visible. So you see how at first you wanted to make it so that it really sticks because you're building up the leaves. But then as you get towards the end, you're going to make it so that it has less glue on it. And that's how you make it. Very simple, easy. It's a fun craft to make. And it really lasts. I made this last year sometime, and it's been hanging there for almost a year or so. So it's been hanging there for a while. So you can see how it comes together really fast. I mean, the hardest part is, you know, determining how you want it. But once you get going, you can just do this while you're watching TV. Okay, so I hope you guys like this craft. I hope you're able to recreate it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I appreciate you watching this video, please like and subscribe for more videos.